Last week we talked about passive income through investing. We covered the 5 investment income streams and the real numbers behind generating $1,000, $2,000, and $5,000 per month from a portfolio. But there is a bigger question sitting behind all of that. A question that has attracted millions of followers on Reddit, YouTube, and across social media in 2026. What if work was optional? Not someday when you turn 65, but genuinely optional, on your own timeline, based on your own choices. That is the promise of the FIRE movement. Financial independence. Retire early. And today on The Algorithm Investor, we are going deep on what it actually means, whether it is genuinely achievable, how to calculate your own number, and the specific investment strategy that makes it mathematically real. This is week 16 and interest in FIRE has surged, rising from 24% to 37% among Americans in just the past year. This is not a niche fringe idea anymore. It is a mainstream financial goal that millions of people are actively pursuing. Let us start with what FIRE actually means. Because the label gets used to describe everything from retiring at 30 to simply building enough savings that you have genuine choices about how you spend your time. At its core, financial independence means one specific thing. Your investment portfolio generates enough passive income to cover your living expenses without you needing to work. When your investments produce more than you spend, you are financially independent. Work becomes optional. Retire early in FIRE does not necessarily mean doing nothing. For most FIRE practitioners, it means having the freedom to work on what you choose rather than what you must. Some retire from corporate careers and spend their days on creative projects, travel, family, or community involvement. Others pivot to lower-paying work they love. The point is freedom of choice, not permanent inactivity. Now let us talk about the 4% rule, the mathematical foundation of the entire FIRE movement. The 4% rule comes from the Trinity Study, a landmark piece of financial research from 1998 that examined historical portfolio performance across different market conditions. The study found that a portfolio invested in a mix of stocks and bonds could sustain withdrawals of 4% of its initial value per year for at least 30 years without running out of money in the vast majority of historical scenarios. In plain English, if you have $1 million invested, you can withdraw $40,000 per year, and your portfolio will almost certainly outlast you across 30 years of retirement. If you have $2 million, you can withdraw $80,000 per year. Updated research in 2026 suggests that with longer retirement horizons, 40 or 50 years for someone retiring in their 30s or 40s, a slightly more conservative withdrawal rate of 3.5% is safer. But the 4% rule remains the most widely used planning benchmark in the FIRE community. So, how do you calculate your own FIRE number? The formula is straightforward. Take your expected annual living expenses in retirement and multiply by 25. That is your target portfolio size for a 4% withdrawal rate. If you can live on $40,000 per year, your FIRE number is $1 million. If your lifestyle costs $60,000 per year, your FIRE number is $1.5 million. If you need $80,000 per year, your number is $2 million. This calculation is the most important thing to personalize because your number depends entirely on how much your life actually costs, not on some abstract retirement calculator average. Run your own numbers. Be honest about your spending. Your FIRE number is unique to you. Now let us talk about the different versions of FIRE, because the original concept has evolved significantly, and the variants make it far more accessible than the headline numbers suggest. Lean FIRE is the most aggressive version. You minimize your lifestyle costs, sometimes dramatically, to lower your FIRE number and reach financial independence faster. If you can live on $25,000 per year, your lean FIRE number is just $625,000. Achievable far faster than a $2 million target, but requiring significant lifestyle sacrifice. Fat FIRE is the opposite approach. You maintain or increase your current lifestyle and build a portfolio large enough to sustain it. Fat FIRE numbers typically run from $2 million to $5 million or higher. Takes longer to reach but preserves lifestyle without compromise. Barista FIRE is perhaps the most practical and most rapidly growing variant. You reach partial financial independence, enough that your portfolio covers most of your expenses, and supplement with part-time or lower stress work that covers the remainder. This dramatically lowers the required portfolio size while providing income flexibility, healthcare benefits in some cases, and the social engagement that full retirement can lack. Coast FIRE is the most psychologically powerful concept for younger investors. Once you have invested enough that your portfolio will grow on its own to your full FIRE number by traditional retirement age, without any additional contributions, you have achieved Coast FIRE. You simply stop adding to your investments, reduce your work to cover living expenses only, and let compound growth do the rest over time. A 25-year-old who invests $100,000 and then never contributes another dollar will have approximately $728,000 by age 65 at a 10% average annual return. That $100,000 milestone is their Coast FIRE number. Everything after that point is financially optional. Now let us talk about the investment strategy that actually delivers FIRE. Because the portfolio that gets you to financial independence is essentially the same portfolio we have been building throughout this series, just pursued with more intentionality and a clearer target. The accumulation phase, building to your FIRE number, is focused on maximizing the gap between income and expenses, investing the difference consistently, and minimizing the fees and taxes that erode your compounding. Low-cost index funds, VTI for the US market, VXUS for international, BND for bonds. In the proportions we covered in the portfolio building episode, form the core of most FIRE portfolios. The savings rate is the single most powerful variable in how quickly you reach FIRE. Time to FIRE is determined almost entirely by your savings rate, the percentage of your income you invest. A 10% savings rate leads to FIRE in roughly 45 years. A 25% savings rate leads to FIRE in approximately 32 years. A 50% savings rate leads to FIRE in approximately 17 years. A 70% savings rate, which requires significant lifestyle design, can lead to FIRE in 10 years or less. This is why FIRE practitioners focus as much on reducing expenses as increasing income. Every dollar you do not spend serves double duty. It reduces your monthly costs and therefore your FIRE number while simultaneously being available to invest and compound. The distribution phase, living off your portfolio, requires a shift in both strategy and psychology. The 4% rule gives you the withdrawal rate, but the implementation matters enormously for tax efficiency and longevity. The classic FIRE distribution sequence is to draw from taxable brokerage accounts first in early retirement, taking advantage of long-term capital gains tax rates and potentially tax loss harvesting, then move to traditional IRA or 401k withdrawals once you cross 59.5 and preserve your Roth IRA as long as possible for tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals in later years. This sequencing strategy can save tens of thousands in taxes over a long retirement compared to drawing from accounts in random order. Another reason why the account structure decisions we covered in earlier episodes matter far beyond just the accumulation phase. Now let us be honest about the challenges of FIRE that most content glosses over. Healthcare before Medicare eligibility at 65 is the most significant practical obstacle for early retirees in the United States. Without employer-sponsored health insurance, you are responsible for the full cost of coverage. Marketplace plans under the Affordable Care Act can run $1,000 to $2,000 per month for a family depending on age and location. This cost must be factored into your FIRE number. It is often the largest single expense for early retirees. Sequence of returns risk is the most significant financial risk in early retirement. If the market drops severely in your first few years of retirement, when your portfolio is at its largest and your withdrawals are beginning, the combination can permanently impair your portfolio's ability to recover, even if markets subsequently rise. The classic defense is maintaining a 1 to 2 year cash buffer to avoid selling investments during downturns. And the psychological adjustment is real. Studies consistently show that purpose, social connection, and structured engagement are as important as financial security for a satisfying retirement. Many people who achieve FIRE find that the freedom they sought requires its own intentional design. What you retire to matters as much as what you retire from. None of these challenges make FIRE unachievable. They make it worth planning for honestly, rather than pursuing blindly. Your action plan from today. Calculate your annual living expenses honestly. Multiply by 25. That is your FIRE number. Calculate your current savings rate. Use the savings rate to FIRE timeline we covered today to estimate your time frame. Identify which version of FIRE, Lean, Fat, Barista, or Coast, aligns with your life goals, and build the low-cost index fund portfolio that gets you there, one consistent monthly contribution at a time. Financial independence is not a fantasy reserved for the already wealthy. It is a mathematical outcome produced by a specific set of behaviors sustained over a specific period of time. The behavior is straightforward. The time is real, and the freedom it produces is genuine. Next week on The Algorithm Investor, we are covering the stock market and the economy, how macroeconomic forces like interest rates, inflation, and GDP growth affect your portfolio, and what you should and should not do when the economic headlines feel overwhelming. For everything you need to build real wealth, subscribe to The Algorithm Investor. New video every single week. Drop a comment below. What is your FIRE number and which version of FIRE are you aiming for? I read every single one. See you next week.